Alrighty. Okay. Hey guys, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and today we're playing a classical game against a good friend of mine, Ezra. Me and Ezra go way back. Let me show you a little something. So, I first met Ezra. This is Ezra here in the middle, in the blue top. Um, I first met Ezra in Bulgaria, and if I never met Ezra, I would never have met Nicola, who we see here, who's also here on the left. And, I don't know, I'd be in a completely different place. Probably it completely changed my life. So, I mean, meeting Ezra was a great thing to happen. And I went to Bulgaria back in 2019 with a couple of my friends. This is Holden and Nick, both from the UK. And we basically played in a tournament there. And it was only after like maybe 2 days or something where there was like some fun like FIDE Blitz event that was also at the tournament because it was a classical tournament, right? And at the Blitz event, I ended up playing this guy. And I remember the game actually, like it was like a Reti against King's Indian, I think, and I played my B4 stuff, which used to be my pet stuff, and I managed to beat this guy. And all I knew was that he was like a 2000 player and he was pretty strong, but I managed to win. And afterwards we just got talking, and maybe as you can see here, like Martin. So this is Martin. Maybe Ezra is the one taking the photo. It's either Ezra or Robin. But anyway, one of them was taking the photo, and Martin had a basketball. So maybe I said something like, "Oh, like if you need some more people to play, we can join you or something." Or somehow we just got talking. I mean, Ezra is a very sociable guy as well. So yeah, we ended up chatting. And as a result, our groups merged for the trip. So actually, Ezra was there with Martin here and Nicola, and a guy called Robin. So Robin, Martin, and Nicola, and Ezra all came as a group, and then me, Nick, and Holden also came as a separate group, and then we merged together and had a wonderful, wonderful time. I almost forgot Ellen as well. Ellen was there, and I don't know if Ellen was there on her own and she was also meeting Ezra for the first time and the crew, or if she came with the group. I don't even know. But this is Ellen. She does some streaming, so you might have heard of her. She's this Danish WIM, I want to say, at least WFM. No, it must be WIM at least. Anyway, I don't know. But really, really good trip. And yeah, since then, of course, we've met many, many more times. And today we are going to play a 90-minute game. I mean, basically, Ezra wanted some warming up because he's going to play in a tournament soon and he's been a bit out of practice. And I'm not going to say no to playing a 2200. Let's just quickly get up his FIDE profile. So, this is Ezra. He's 2200. I think his peak is probably around like 2250. And yeah, we're going to play. So, basically, I'm going to send him a challenge now. Okay, I will send him a challenge. I'm actually really glad to be playing some classical because I've just been playing so much Blitz lately. I feel like it's just completely messing with my not so much my chess. I mean, I feel like my chess is improving, but it's more like just my emotions, right? Like when you play a lot of Blitz and your form is fluctuating, like, oh man, it can really kill your motivation to work on chess and stuff. But yeah, playing a good classical game always kind of like puts things back into perspective, and I think it's quite nice. Getting a bit chilly in here. That's not good. Let me make sure I'm not muted or something stupid. Nah, I should be fine. Okay. The thing is, in Thailand, I don't have any warmer clothes. I've just got t-shirts. I've got one long sleeve. Guess I could put that on. Should I put on the long sleeve? You know what? I'm gonna put on the long sleeve. Okay, let's go. So, To give some like background into this game, uh, I know that Ezra may have prepped my C3 Venom because we were talking about it, and he was like, do I want to be spending 10 minutes at the board trying to work out what to do, or do I want to have something prepared? So maybe he had something prepared, but okay, I got the black pieces. In the end, we just did random colors. And very interesting to see Ezra play d4 because, to my understanding, he's an e4 player, and I actually didn't get time to do any prep. I mean, in general, like I wanted to just practice my chess and not really focus on the preparation aspect. So yeah, we're gonna get a Benoni, and I'm really curious to see if like Ezra has like completely booked me up. But to be honest, I mean, like my understanding in the Benoni goes pretty deep, and it would really take a lot of thorough investigation to really test me, at least in terms of like opening prep. So yeah, I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried. Okay. But okay, if Ezra plays a super inspiring game, then you can get in touch because he's also actually just starting out as a chess coach. So um, I'm sure he'd do a great job if any of you are interested in a 2200 attacking Belgian player to teach you some ideas. But okay. I mean, I don't have much to think about here. Like, this is what I've been playing like my whole damn life. So, yeah, no need to burn any brain cells at this moment. I mean, one thing I would remark on is it is curious that Ezra is taking some time to think here because it's kind of bold to enter into a Benoni. He knows I played Benoni, so if he's entering this with like zero prep, like, I mean, this is very, very adventurous of him. I mean, yeah, knight c3 is the only move here, so actually maybe actually he wasn't thinking, maybe he was just like getting a coffee or something. Like I can't see what he's doing, right? So I can only guess. Okay, yeah, I mean, I back for Benoni. Let's go. So as a Benoni player, I mean, I may as well like give you guys a bit of a lesson while we're here, right? So as a Benoni player, you need to be prepared for setups where they go e4 and f4. You need to be prepared for setups where they go e4 and maybe f3. You need to be prepared for setups where white develops the bishop very quickly, either to f4 or g5. And finally, you need to be prepared for fianchettoed setups, so if they play g3. And that is everything. If you can master those 4-5 different setups, that's the whole Benoni. So e4, still staying very flexible. I stayed just as flexible by playing g6. And now we'll see Ezra's hand. What has he got prepared? H3. Okay. So this is a very precise move order to play a line that involves the knight on f3, the bishop on d3, and the pawn on h3. But if you start with the knight will get pinned. So you start with h3 first. So this is the most precise move order. Now I've just got to think about which line I want to choose. Well, both my lines start with bishop g7, so we'll start here. Get knight f3 now. So I'm going to castle. And here I'm expecting bishop d3 because this, I think it's called like the New York variation. And it's considered like perhaps a new main line of the Benoni, like it's very trendy. And the thing is on bishop d3, the main move is to play b5. But the thing is, black is really just fighting for equality there, and you really need to know a lot to get the equality. And even with the knowledge, it may not be enough to get the equality. So it's definitely Engine's top move by far, and that's why, you know, this line isn't just played by everyone, otherwise everyone would play it. So, like, for instance, a lot of top players don't play bishop d3 because they're scared of b5. Because if black, you know, knows their stuff and white doesn't, then they'll also just equalize pretty quickly. So, yeah, but I've got a few tricks up my sleeve in this position, because b5 is not the only way you can play this. Yeah, and if he chooses bishop d3, then I've got the move that I want to play, basically. And it's very important when you're choosing between like two lines. If you have two lines in a position, you need to make a decision for whatever reason. If it's based on mood, based on like recent understanding or having looked at it or something. And whatever decision you make, you stick with it, because you can't be like second guessing and thinking, oh, shoulda, woulda, coulda, you know, about another line. Otherwise, then, you know, your game is going to be ruined. So I'm set on what I'm going to play if he plays bishop d3. Okay, while Ezra thinks, I'm going to refill my water. Use the bathroom as well. Okay, so Ezra's still thinking. That's very, very interesting. Oh, he's played bishop d3. Okay. So I don't know what was the weight. Again, like, it's a kind of weird place to wait. Just making sure that I've got the right move here. I don't want to play too quickly in the opening and then like make some mistake. Yeah, this is a move I want to play. So the idea of knight h5 is to stop bishop f4. If white plays g4, then they have to weaken their king. because yeah, the king's gonna go kingside. So it's a tiny bit dubious, but it's also not easy to realize the advantage. And if I remember my lines, then I fancy my chances. I'm gonna try and like start calculating and remind myself of some of the lines because it's been a while since I've looked at this. Okay. Knight d7 is the move, so this is still theory. And this is where there's a big divide. So basically, bishop g5 is the old main line, bishop e2 is the new main line, there's rook e1, there's also bishop e3. So lots of moves here. Bishop g5, okay, we get the new main line. I mean the old main line. Yeah, and here we go bishop f6. And interestingly, there's a little repetition here. Like if bishop h6, bishop g7, bishop g5, bishop f6, and we can just call it a draw. I mean, I've got, like, a friend of mine is in Thailand is having a birthday party today. So I wouldn't mind, like, ending this game and going over. I mean, I'd planned for this classical game for weeks already, so, I'm not going to cancel last minute. But yeah, that would be a very funny turn of events. I know that on bishop h6, you can definitely play rook e8 with playing for more. But I think if Ezra plays bishop h6, I'd probably play bishop g7 and just say, bro, if you want to draw with the white pieces and you're 200 elo higher than me, like, what are you doing? Yeah, try and, give him some psychological impact. Wait, let me remember my lines if he goes bishop back to e3, because I think bishop back to e3 is the main move. What happens there? Go here. I remember the idea that I need to try and finesse, but how to make the idea work, I need to get that right. Okay, I think I remember. Okay, just because it's a funny story, I'll share it. But I actually had this exact position against a tournament crush. And I mean, at chess tournaments, big international chess tournaments, it's very possible that you end up having a tournament crush. And I remember, like, I played her in either a blitz or rapid side event at the tournament. And I was terrified, right? Because she's like a super aggressive player, super strong as well. And we got this position, and I managed to pull off the finessed combination, which I'm hoping to pull off in this game as well. And I definitely had like the better position, but I knew it was the kind of position in a blitz game against this player in particular. No chance. I'm going to blunder in like a few moves and I'm going to get wrecked. So I just offered her a draw, and she took it like almost immediately because she is a strong player and understood that the position was like definitely in my favor. And I guess she didn't want to take any chances. I mean, she didn't know anything about me, right? So, yeah, I got a draw against a pretty strong player in either a blitz or rapid. Queen d2. That is not the move, I think. Unless it is. Maybe it is. Ah, no, Queen d2 might be the main move, actually. now I am remembering. I thought it was Bishop e3, Rook e8, Queen d2, but maybe it's Queen d2 already. I don't remember. In any case, Rook e8 I feel like should be the move. I mean, if g4 I've always got knight g7. I don't know. I can also take on g5. Alright, let's actually think here. Because if bishop e3 is the main move and queen d2 isn't, then there might actually be a problem with queen d2. Yeah, a rook e8 must be the best move. And I believe if white plays bishop e3, I should be back in book. But definitely this bishop g5 line, it's like super critical and interesting. Rook a e1. Definitely Ezra is trying to blow me off the board with this kind of play. From the way Ezra's playing, though, I feel like he's definitely in book. Uh, and I think it's targeted prep. But the good news is I don't remember seeing this rook AE1, so at least he's going to be out of book now. I mean, unless he's predicted whatever move I'm going to play. But I don't even know what move I'm going to play, so basically the prep ends here, and now we start. What to play? I'm finding knight e5 really interesting, because if knight takes e5, I can even take on g5. And if they ever knight e5, bishop takes f6, I'm very happy just to play queen takes f6. I feel like I'm probably close to equal already. So knight e5 feels like the move. Knight takes and I take the bishop. Surely that's good, unless there's something concrete that I'm missing, so let me calculate carefully. Got plenty of time. And this is the thing, like, even if it looks good, if you're playing a classical game and it's a critical move, like knight e5, like, maybe there's some subtle detail that means it doesn't work, and I need to make sure it works. Like, maybe I need to play a6 first, a6, a4, and then play knight e5. So, something like this. I need to double check. Knight e5, knight takes e5, bishop takes g5. I hit the queen. I'm still hitting the knight. If they block with f4, at the very least I can play rook takes e5. Because the f pawn is pinned, and if they take my bishop, I mean, so be it. It's just an equal trade. Right, here. Yeah, at the very least I've got that. So I can calculate more if it comes. Is there any deviations before that? Knight e5, knight takes e5, bishop takes g5. Anything else they can try? Like, it looks really bad for them. So knight e5? What can they even do? I guess bishop e2? No, but then I go knight takes f3, and then I take on g5, and I'm, like, up a piece. So knight e5, am I forcing bishop takes f6? Because if so, then I'm very happy. Knight e5, bishop f6, queen f6. Knight e5, queen e5, f4. Looks alright. Knight maybe I can do better. Knight e5, bishop f6. I mean, it just looks great. I mean, like, knight e5, bishop f6, even just knight takes f6. I mean, I'm forcing off another pair of pieces. I mean, this is a dream come true in the Benoni. It seems really concrete. I mean, what could I be missing? It's not impossible that Ezra's messing this up, because, I mean, he's an e4 player. He's an e4 playing the most critical d4 line. Like, I really don't know what he's doing, to be honest. I really can't see a reason why I shouldn't play knight e5. knight e5, knight takes e5, bishop takes e5. What else can he try? Taking on f7 makes no sense. Doesn't work. f4. I'm playing it. I don't know. I really can't see. Maybe I could have tried to like just look at every single legal move, but at the same time, like, I mean, I'm threatening to take on f3 with check, so I really get out of a lot of problems this way, and I really don't think there's like many options in this position. I mean, if they take on e5, I take on g5. If they take on f6, I take back on f6. I'm threatening to take on f3 and win a bishop. So what on earth is white supposed to do? So like any of these, like, so for instance, let's say a move like bishop b5, which I didn't consider when I was calculating, like it doesn't do anything, because I just take on f3 and take on g5 with tempo on the queen, like. I mean, it's funny, we were even talking like before the game about like super ambitious play, because I was telling him how like I would win some games in c3 Venom in classical because my opponents are like trying to prepare some absolutely most ambitious engine preparation, and I was just saying it's ridiculous because I mean it's so hard to get right. You mess up the move order slightly and you just get like an average position that gets nothing from the opening, and or even well, against c3 Venom you just get a worse position, but with the black pieces here I'm at least equal, I think, already. So I don't understand like what Ezra's doing, like this kind of play. Unless I've missed something. Maybe I've missed something here. But I mean, you play the New York variation, you need to know knight h5, you need to know b5, you need to know rook e8, you need to know knight bd7. There's so many moves that all require very subtle differences, and if you don't know exactly how to play those differences, and I don't know, it's just so impractical to me. Like you don't have this kind of time in the world to do this. I mean, you can try and prepare like specifically for a player, but even in this case, which I think Ezra has done, I think he specifically tried to prepare me in this line. Like I don't think it's even worth it then. I think you just try and learn something simple, master that simple line, and okay, maybe it's a bit less ambitious. Maybe if your opponent knows everything, then they get a draw. But okay, if your opponent knows everything, then they deserve a draw, right? So you just play something that is more manageable. I mean, this is like, I mean, if like eidetic memory was Ezra's strong suit, then fine, go for this stuff. But it's not easy. So the reason, okay, like if anyone's confused by this position or whatever, like the reason why I'm so happy with it is in the Benoni, you have a space disadvantage, but it's only a disadvantage if you have too many pieces for the available space. So in order to nullify the disadvantage, you simply just trade a piece, and then your space disadvantage issues are not really felt, and if anything, it's actually an asset to have less space, because it means that your opponent doesn't have as many squares that they can try and infiltrate on. Whereas if the opponent has like really overpushed and overextended, they have loads of squares that I can try and jump into and cause problems. So for instance, like this f4 square, like I've got like a bit of control over it, maybe one day I can jump into it. I mean, on the other hand, white doesn't have the f5 square because, I'm a little bit more reserved, like I haven't pushed my e-pawn forward and weakened the f4 square. Okay, maybe this is a bad example actually, because white can always play g3 and control it just like how I played g6 and controlled it. Just, I don't know, just like there are less fewer number of squares for white to jump into than there is for black to jump into. Okay, so we get this bishop e3 now. Now this is definitely 100% gone wrong. So there's that. So okay, candidate moves here. I mean, you got to be kidding me. Knight takes f3, pawn f3, bishop takes h3. Is this GG already? Resign and restart? I don't know. Am I getting too cocky? Yes, I need to calm myself down. But knight f3, pawn f3, bishop takes h3. I mean, this is just an exchange. I mean, I've got to convert it still, but I mean, I think if there's any lesson to be learned, I mean, we've learned the lesson now. I mean, the other move to consider is bishop takes h3, because if pawn takes h3, knight takes f3 check, and you win the queen. But bishop h3, then they can take on e5, and the problem is, yeah, then we just got nothing, right? So we just take on f3 and then take on h3, and it's over, completely over. I'm just stalling to double check everything. Just make sure I'm not missing something. I mean, I'm 99 million % sure that I'm not missing something, but yeah, okay, let's just do it. I really don't think that was forced though, to allow this. Okay, if Ezra resigns this game, we just play again and we swap colors. Like, I want my practice. I mean, okay, let's think about it though. Like, this position's not going to win itself. It still needs to be won. And I mean, you know, Ezra's at 2200. He's good at chess. I mean, maybe he made some bad decisions in the opening, like in terms of his preparation and how ambitious he was trying to be. But he's good at chess, so that means like even though I'm going to be an exchange and a pawn up, it doesn't mean I'm going to win this game. So I need to lock in. Okay. So candidate moves. The rook on f1 is going nowhere. We definitely want to try and attack on the king side. Like, the king is super weak right now. So we've got rook e5, rook e7, rook f8. Rook f8 is fine, because on any bishop h6, we can always block it. We can always play either bishop g7 or knight g7. We're not losing an exchange. Also, the bishop on b5 is a bit vulnerable because we can play a6, b5 next. So whatever we move, white probably has to play a4, which means we get another move. Now, where to put the rook is the question. How ambitious is rook e5? The problem with rook e5 is always going to be f4. And I don't really want white rolling those pawns. I mean, that's probably white's one chance to try and get back in this game. So then it's rook e7 or rook f8. Trying to understand what the benefits of both would be. I feel like rook e7 just feels a little bit more loose, because then my bishop is kind of... I don't want to allow any bishop g5 nonsense. And I feel like the rook on e7 blocks the queen, potentially coming to h4. So I think rook f8 feels the most correct. Not missing anything. Yeah, like if rook f8 and bishop h6, and let's say I play, I don't know, bishop g7 or something, his rook is still trapped. So nothing to worry about. So let's just play rook f8. Yeah, it's a shame I couldn't uncork the special combination within this knight h5 line. But okay, it's also nice that that stays a bit of a secret as well, because it's a really cool idea, and I learned it from a Benoni book, which I studied, that was written by a GM. And yeah, it's not obvious at all. So it's good to keep it a bit of a secret. So okay, we got two candidates, knight g7 or bishop g7. Now on one hand, I do want to keep the knight in the vicinity of the white king. So that might suggest bishop g7. Knight g7 keeps the bishop a bit more active, avoids the trade, but I don't mind trading. I mean, trading is going to be in my favor, I suspect. Yeah, and this plan of like queen h4, knight f4, if I can get this in somehow, this looks really strong. I can also tickle, like bishop g7, bishop g5, bishop f6, bishop h6, and then knight g7. If I need to. Bishop g7, bishop g5. I don't really want to go knight f6 there. But if bishop g5 is the biggest concern, then I can always repeat him and put the knight back on g7. So probably bishop g7 makes the most sense then. Let's just consider bishop g7, bishop takes, if king takes, if e5, e5 always needs to be checked. But then I can go queen h4, and whatever they do, I just take the rook and go knight f4. Oh, when I take the rook, they can also take back with the bishop, so I do need to be careful. Oh, that's actually a candidate move I forgot to consider. What about a6 here? Interesting. If I go a6, then if he just moves the bishop back somewhere, I could even go b5, and that position just looks really wonderful. If I go a6 and he takes my rook on f8, I'm also looking at some interesting ideas, like what if bishop g7, bishop g5, and then I go bishop takes c3? No, it doesn't work, because they can take with the pawn, and they still protect their bishop. Okay, that doesn't quite work. a6 is a really interesting idea, though. Because I would love a position where I have the dark square bishop, and they don't, right? If a6, bishop takes f8, looks real interesting. Queen takes f8. They move back, I play b5. I mean, I've got like this perfect Benoni. Like, I feel like I don't even need the material. It's super tempting. Like, what good is having a rook if it's sitting on f8 doing nothing? I mean, a6 feels like really the correct move here. a6, they take on f8, I just go queen takes f8. Keep control of his dark squares. Oh, it just looks so beautiful. It's so tempting to play it. I just don't know if I'm being really unnecessary here. I could also take f1 now. Nah, I don't know. A6 really does make a lot of sense. I could also start with bishop g7, bishop g5, bishop f6, bishop h6, and then go a6. Maybe that's the way to go, even more precise. So if bishop g7 and he takes it, am I really completely winning there? Like, I have to be completely winning there. I think let's go with that. Yeah, okay, fine. Let's do this. Because I think any other move here, except for bishop g5, I'm like fully happy. e5. Okay. So I should always consider e5, so that's a bit lazy from me. Also looks insane though. I mean, I can literally play bishop takes e5. Or maybe I even take on f1 first, just to make sure I get that rook. Takes back with the bishop, say, and then I just take on e5 with the bishop. And then probably he has to sack again, but it has to be over at that point. I mean, bishop takes f1. Can he throw in any in between move? Maybe he can try like bishop takes g7, king g7. I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough at all. I think I just take on f1. He needs to take back, and then I'll just take on e5 and be a happy chess player. Yeah, I think this is the cleanest, right? So you have to be very careful here. I mean, I feel like the pressure on the bishop on b5, like something, like I don't think he's got time for like e6 or something. I mean, I need to be a bit careful, but I really can't believe like e6 is like going to be winning or something for white. Okay, it goes king takes. I mean, that definitely makes me happy to see because the king feels a little bit vulnerable there. I mean, and I don't think the bishop on b5 is particularly good. I feel like it's even a target to a6, b5. So now I just go bishop takes e5. And this should be really nice for me. Like if I have the dark squares there, I literally have nothing to worry about. So bishop takes e5, bishop takes f8, queen f8, rook e5. He has to sack. Pawn takes e5. And he gets this passed d pawn. So what? I've got queen knight rook against queen knight bishop. But he doesn't have the e4 square because I can always play f5. Yeah, and any knight g5, I've even got knight f4, like it looks really fine. And knight g5 probably can't last that long anyway. Yeah, I mean bishop e5 is the most natural move. I mean I can also go a6. How does a6 go? I mean a6 gives him the chance to play bishop takes g7, king takes g7. And then even though I get b5, I don't like the fact that he's got this pawn e5. So bishop takes e5 really feels right. So let me just double check this line. I mean, this is the only thing I need to calculate, right? Like bishop e5, bishop takes f8. I mean, if he doesn't take on f8, like literally I'm doing, there's nothing for him. So bishop e5 takes on f8. Now I can take with king or queen. Let's say I take with queen, because I don't want to allow queen h6 check. Although maybe I can. Maybe it's completely fine. No, and also there's maybe some rook e8 check business I don't want to deal with. I'd rather the queen taking, right? So bishop e5. Bishop e5, bishop f8, queen f8. And is there anything else I need to consider? Or is rook takes e5 the only try? If he tries like f4, I can just take with a knight. Yeah, looks really clean. So bishop e5 takes on f8, queen f8, rook takes e5, pawn takes e5, and what candidate moves does he have there? So he's got pushing d6, he's got knight e4, that's probably about it. If he pushes d6, I can go rook d8. If he pushes d7, I could flush the bishop out with a6. And then can I try and win the pawn? I probably can, right? Wherever the bishop goes, I'll just play queen e7. And I win the pawn next, because even if I, let's say, play queen takes d7, and there's like some big trade on d7, even if there's like a knight on e4 or something, there's no knight f6 check at the end to fork my pieces, I've got knight takes f6, right? I've got knight on h5. So bishop e5, bishop f8, queen f8, rook e5, pawn e5. If d6, just go rook d8. What if, at that point, rather than push, he plays knight e4? If knight e4, then I can go f5. He can go knight takes c5, but then I can take on d6 with the queen or rook or something. Looks fine. Looks really fine. This really feels like the way. I mean, are there any other candidate moves to consider? I mean, I've probably done things in the wrong way around. Like I've tried calculating before considering my candidates. But it really feels so natural. I mean, this e5 pawn is really a lot of counterplay that I just don't want to allow. If bishop takes e5, is that f4? Nah, surely I can just go back bishop g7. Yeah, there's nothing there. Absolutely nothing. I mean, another candidate move could be queen h4 here. Ooh, queen h4 does have a threat of bishop takes h6, queen h6, knight g3 check, and I pick up the queen. So queen h4, so they don't have time to push the e-pawn or take on d6. Because I just take on h6, queen h6, knight g3. So queen h4, they would have to take on g7. I go king takes g7. Then they can either take on d6 or push. Maybe let's say they take. Do I have a line here? I can go knight f4, threatening some nasty business. And if king g1, then just queen g5 check, and then I mate on g2, right? Yeah, with the knight on f4, I'm threatening queen h3, and then queen g2 mate. So queen h4 actually might be even stronger than this bishop e5. I mean, bishop e5, I still need to win this an exchange up, right? If queen h4 wins on the spot, then it wins on the spot. So queen h4, what if they play a move like bishop g5? I can go queen h3 check, king e2. And actually, at any point in all this, I can always play bishop takes e5. And in these instances, I'm not even down a rook. I'm not even losing an exchange, I mean. So queen h4 just feels very, very strong. Because of this threat. How else can they do? What if they move the queen so that... No, knight g3 is still a bit of a threat. No. If they move the queen, I just take the bishop. So queen h4 really looks to be the move. Queen h4, what if they just go back bishop e3? Well, then I just take on e5. So queen h4, if they push e6, let me just double check. Bishop takes h6. They can throw in one check, taking on f7. I just take back, rook takes f7. Just up a piece. Yeah, no, this is... Oh, so queen h4, anything else? Anything else? Queen h4, if they run somewhere, king e2. At the very least, I can take on e5, and that's a better version. Queen h4, what if they go back king g1? Maybe that's a bit annoying. But surely I can still play bishop takes e5. He can sack. But I think that has to be at least as good of a version, if not better. Because I mean, I'm threatening all kinds of like knight f4 business there. So I think queen h4 has to be winning. Just has to be. Queen h4, bishop g5, queen h3 check, king g1. What happens there? Well, I can still go bishop takes e5. Should be enough. I feel like queen h4 is even cleaner than the other line we were looking at. Bishop takes, queen takes, knight g3. Yeah, I think we're going to play it. I mean, it also makes a lot of principled sense. I mean, we keep most of the pieces on the board. Yeah, we keep most of the pieces on the board. I mean, his king is weak. We bring a queen in that direction. I mean, this makes sense. But okay, I mean, like last time I had a position this winning against Mr. Dodgy, and then I managed to blow it, like sacrificing my queen like an absolute idiot. So yeah, and this time like no funny business. I mean, we're completely statically winning. We just make improving static moves. And actually, yeah, this queen h4 makes even more sense then, because queen h4 is a very static improving move, whereas like, you know, this bishop takes e5 stuff, it's like super dynamic and it's really unnecessary. So I think this queen h4 definitely makes more sense. I mean, Unless there's a dynamic way for white to unravel at this moment, which I've calculated that there isn't, this should just be good. I mean, queen h4 literally comes with a threat, so... I'm threatening to win a piece. Bishop h6, queen h6, knight g6. Knight g3, and that's game. Oh, my computer's actually going to run out of charge. You know what? Oh, how am I going to do this? Do I have any plug sockets around here? Shit. Okay, you know what? We will tactically move back to the desk. And I'll just play the rest on my laptop. It's a bit annoying that I can't see the board for the rest of the game. But, yeah, I don't want to run out of charge and then lose the game on default or something. Alright, hopefully the transition from over the board to online pieces doesn't mess me up, but I mean, okay. This position should be pretty clean now. Okay, so let's... Okay, it's so weird looking at the position on an online board, having just looked at a real board for this whole time. So let's try and understand what's happening. So, in this position, we are threatening bishop h6, queen h6, knight g3, picking up the queen. So, that means that white needs to deal with this in some way. They cannot move the queen anywhere, because that still leads to the same problem, or they just hang the bishop straight up. If they move the knight, okay, so we got bishop g5. We had a plan for this, I'm pretty sure. What was our plan? I think our plan was just to go queen h3 and then just take on e5 and say that this has to be a better version than what we just had. Now I'm just wondering, okay, we actually have two different checks to choose from. We also have a square queen h2, so what's the difference of all of them? So queen h1, king e2 forced. That feels like a worse version because now our queen is attacked. We don't have any clever way to give some knight g3 check. Doesn't achieve anything. So queen h3 looks like the move. We're not getting our queen trapped, no, never. Queen h3, king g1, bishop e5, rook e5, pawn e5. They can push d6, but at the very least, we can always just put a rook on d8 and sack the exchange back. Like, I don't think that pawn is so menacing. Oh, a very fancy move would be bishop h6 here. Which doesn't work at all because they just take the bishop. Yeah, if they took the queen, then I take the queen, and this is actually really nice. Maybe it's nice. Maybe it's not even nice. I don't know. Queen h3 definitely makes sense to gain that tempo. I mean, another way to do it could be queen d4, but no, the queen's not even like hanging. I think queen h3 makes the most sense. Let's play it. So I'm expecting king g1, because if king e2, then I just take on e5 and there's not even a sacrifice. So king g1 is basically forced. And then I assume bishop e5 just has to be better. Rook takes e5. Pawn e5. That also gives me a bit of extra control over playing like knight f4 or something. how does this line compare to the line when this happened and I took... Yeah, here I was considering... What was I considering? I was considering bishop e5. Yeah, I still lose the dark squared bishop regardless. Like, I can't avoid it. So yeah, king g1 as expected. I can also take on f3. What's the best way to finesse this? I mean, bishop takes e5 looks really natural. Rook takes e5 sack, pawn takes. Yeah, we have 2 rooks against 2 bishops. They have this menacing pass pawn. I think it's best just to not deep it and just take that pawn. I mean, it really, unless I'm missing like an immediate win, that really looks strong. Yeah, let's think on his time as well. I'm not missing any like queen traps from myself or something. Should be good. And I think we can even just pre-move this because I don't think there's anything else to consider there. And the reason why I'm pre-moving, normally I wouldn't, but it's a recapture, so it's very safe. You know, if they attack my queen, it's going to cancel. And I want the psychological impact to say that, you know, I've seen the exchange sack. Like, I'm not an idiot. Like, I see it's coming. I guess the one thing I do have to watch out for a little bit is that they have a dark squared bishop, and I don't have a dark squared bishop defending my king. So I do need to make sure that, you know, I'm safe. Now that's a surprise. That's a real surprise. I don't understand this at all. I just go queen g4 and I just pick up the pawn, and then what? We're losing another pawn here? I don't get this. I thought the exchange sack was absolutely forced in that position. Did Ezra miss queen g4? I don't understand. What am I missing? Queen g4, it's a check. It's a check. Like, they have to move the king. Let's say king h1, I have no idea where. And let's just go knight takes, threatening checkmate. Now we just trade everything off and it's completely over. The only explanation I can have is that Ezra is an e4 player, and this is the first time I've ever seen him play d4, and maybe it's the last. Like, I don't know. Like, it seems really unnatural to like miss this stuff. I mean, the only explanation is if you're playing like a system that you're not used to, and all the pieces are on the wrong squares, and you end up missing the stuff. I don't know. Okay, but still, I had a position this good against Mr. Dodgy, and I messed it up. So I cannot lose this game. I need to keep focused. I have a feeling queen g4 must have literally just been an oversight, and I mean, probably Ezra's been like killing himself like over this game. Okay, game is up. Banana will have to wait. Okay, let me get these earbuds off. But yeah, no, I mean we'll take it. I mean 2200 is a serious opponent, even if they had a very rough off day. But let's see if I can get Ezra on call. Insane, though. Yo, Ezra. How's it going?
Well, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I want to hear the full story. Like what on earth happened?
Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
What happens, man? It's really difficult to take this seriously. And keep focusing when it's not federated or when I'm just
right. I understand, and that's why I was listening to music, because I can't play these classical games like if I'm just in silence, like but yeah, no, I mean my commentary throughout the game was just like Ezra's an E4 player, so this is the only explanation I can have that like all of this stuff is being missed.
I'm actually trying to learn D4. And I've played it a couple of times. I mean, I've learned certain lines. I've started playing it and experimenting with it, with actually good results. I played it twice in the past month, and twice I beat like an IM.
Okay.
So I'm really happy with it. But then, of course, I was out of book very quickly after 2 moves.
No way.
After C5.
Really? Okay. Because I had a hunch that actually it was like some engine preparation, because this line that you played with Bishop G5, this is like the top engine line, and I consider it like the old main line of this variation, because it's what the engine recommends, but no one ever plays it because it's just like you really need to be like super precise. And I think Queen D2 is inaccurate. I think you have to drop back Bishop E3 first and then play Queen D2. But yeah, this line. Yeah. I mean, let's add it on the study and we can take a look.
I'm seeing in the database it's Bishop E3.
Yeah, Bishop E3 first. Yeah. But
it's very, so weird to play. Bishop F6, like.
Right.
I don't understand anything of it.
Yeah, I'll try explain what I know. Okay. Let me add you.
Computer doesn't really like it for black, yeah?
Yep. Actually, this knight h5 line, it's an old Nicola line. So it's quite rare, this knight h5. So people generally a bit less booked up.
Yeah, I don't really believe in it.
I mean, the funniest thing was like we had this conversation, right, about playing ambitious chess, and I was like, these losers like try and play the most ambitious chess and then just get wrecked because it's too ambitious and it's too difficult, and then we get this game. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I made the study. You can join it, and then we can comment on moves and stuff. Yeah. Oh, let me flip this for you, and then you can see it from your side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I move, do you see it moving?
Yeah. I see. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, what I understand about this, so knight h5, yeah, engine doesn't really believe in it. And yeah, this bishop g5 is like the old main line, what the old engines used to say. I think even though the engine... Oh, no, now engine even says bishop e2. Yeah, this is like the new main line. So...
even before, like in...
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
Right.
In like this position, I was like, maybe I should play g3. Then I figured, no, let's just do normally. Okay, and then f4 is the line here, main line. Okay.
Yeah, but actually, I mean, h3, like, I'm surprised you just come up with this off the bat, because, I mean, people who don't know just play knight f3, and then they, well, bishop g4 is actually a mistake, because you go queen a4 check, and then there's no more pin, and then you move the knight, and then h3, g4, and it's over for me. But what I can do is I can play a6, and this is the best move, because you have to stop me playing b5, otherwise I just have a grip, and now I can go bishop g4. Yeah. So...
Yeah, I've played the Benoni. I used to play it as a kid. And it was very annoying when people played h3 first. So
right.
I figured I'll just play h3. But right here, I wasn't sure bishop d3 or bishop e2.
So,
or how to develop.
I only know theory after bishop d3. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the only move. I mean, it's by far the main line. Bishop e2 isn't played.
Right.
30.
And I think it's to do with the e4 pawn. Like, if you play for the bishop on e2, then I should be able to put good pressure on it. Like, even rook e8 immediately.
Yeah, I figured rook e8, queen c2, and then maybe even queen e7. And then I'm already... I'm already...
Bishop d3, I don't know. I mean, I just go c4 anyway, and... Yeah.
But I don't know the plans. Because in the Benoni that I used to play with black, it was like a shitty Benoni. It wasn't really possible. It wasn't really possible to put so much pressure on e5, but now you can.
Right. Why did you never play the modern Benoni actually, or just to avoid theory or something?
I mean, I just learned this one line as a kid, and I played it for 10 years until and I lost in it a lot until I actually learned something else.
Fair enough. But yeah, no, the reason why like the top players are sometimes hesitant to play into this is because b5 is supposedly equalizing with very precise play. But I know like a top Benoni player, like this Greek GM, who's like 2600, and he recommends that the black player doesn't play b5 here because, he says that it's too difficult, the equality. Like he's played it many times, and he's like he knows so much, and he still struggles with it. So it's weird. Like both sides avoid this variation for different reasons, and it just doesn't get played as much. But I think actually the GM, I think he was recommending like some early queen e7 somewhere. I don't know.
But what's the if we go all the way back here? I mean, I'm out of book here.
Right.
I don't really know. What are the...
I mean, okay. Have you played like English or Reti before ever?
No.
Okay, because I was gonna say like, well, actually, what do you play against Sicilian Accelerated Dragon, like as white? Did you ever play like mainline Sicilian?
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know. Like in this position, you can also play knight f3. And the point being is on takes, you get like this Sicilian style position where you don't even have to go e3, you can just play with like g3. But the thing is, in this line, people don't play it with white because there's a unique kind of like line to the Benoni move order here, where black can go e5, and on knight b5, black can go d5, And it looks like black can't do this because on takes you can just take, and there's knight c7. Mm-hmm. But it's called the Kasparov Gambit, and supposedly it's fine for black. I mean, basically, this pawn eventually drops, and black just gets all their pieces out. But it can be something that you can study, I think. Like, if you study it, then you could potentially get an edge with white if black just doesn't know what they're doing.
No, but I mean, I'm fine with just playing this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just don't know. I just should look at it. I mean, I'm done with playing like sketchy shit. I'm just gonna play, you know,
main lines now.
Tried and tested things, and my point is just get in an equal endgame and then be a better player than my opponents. I don't wanna fuck around in the opening any longer. I've done that a little bit too much.
I remember of the days of was it like the Zinzi Indian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I still believe in that though. That's an exception.
Okay.
I'm still a fan. Just looking at the lines here, yeah. I mean.
No, but I mean, honestly,
F4.
Ezra, if you want that game plan, right? You want to get into an end game where you just grind the player out and you win. You do not.
Not an end game. Just like okay. I want to play like normal openings that are like tried and like. Yeah, they're just like proven to be, you know, they work. I don't want to get into like sketchy sideline stuff any longer because I've done that too much.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good sentiment, but I think playing mainline Benoni is not the way, because the thing is you can actually get slight pluses with white without entering these sharp main lines. And these sharp main lines, I mean, there's so much to know. I mean, if you try and just learn it from looking at the database, I mean, good luck. Like, I mean, you're playing against someone who's like, I don't know, read books and watch video courses from GMs talking about the strategy within these main lines. And I mean, like, it's main line enough, like this Benoni, that it's not just refuted or something. So I think, like, very simple lines. So for instance, do you only play d4, c4? Or do you ever play with knight f3 here?
I don't really play with knight f3, no.
Okay. I'm trying to think, like, if
what do you do against, for instance, I'm just looking at the main line just area. F4.
Okay, bishop g7.
Yeah.
Yeah, and bishop b5 is the main move. Now, knight fd7 is what I play. But can you imagine if you play this and you looked at the main line, knight fd7, and then your opponent plays knight d7, knight bd7, and you seem to remember somewhere that engine or database was saying e5 or something. Yeah. And then you get this position here, and you're like, well, okay, I'll win a piece, and then this comes up on the board. Like, I mean, good luck. Like, navigating all of this.
But I mean, you know, then I'll just have to learn that. But I mean, I look at the win rate, and it's like a 52% win rate for white, like, and it's plus 1.4. So yeah, I mean, thank you very much. I'll just learn this variation. I mean,
true. Yeah, I guess.
It can't be that fucking difficult. Yeah. Bishop e3 and you know, we're.
But this is also not the main line of this. I mean, it might be engine's main line, but it's not the main tricky line. So you have to do your work, your homework. If you like, I mean, if
I don't mind. I don't mind putting in the work. Like.
Right.
But it's just for 10 years I've played like Mora and Wing and Zinzi and Benoni and like just like nice openings, but you know. Some would call them dubious.
Yeah.
And I would just like to, you know, play the opening up tempo, the normal lines until I'm in some middle game, and then we can just play chess.
Sure.
And I don't want to, yeah. But I mean, you play here a4. Yeah, this is all very standard. Yeah.
And for me, yeah, I mean, the main move is, I think, like castles here, right?
Yeah, you play Queen H4 probably.
I play Knight A6. And the thing is, you think that it is just a transposition to castles here, but I play with Knight B4, and it's actually really important here because basically, if black were to castle and we go Knight F3 and we get the same type of game, the main move here is Rook E1, and then on A6 you can slot the bishop harmoniously on F1, and then play continues. But if you start with Knight A6, which no one does, and you delay castling, and then play A6 here. Yeah, you can't play the main line. So suddenly people are out of book. And actually, like, it's on YouTube. I played, not my YouTube channel, like this Malaysian YouTube channel. I played some Prodigy. It was the last round of, like, some big team event. And, like, he's, like, 2900, like, chess.com, whatever. And this was the exact position on the board. And I completely killed him. He played bishop c4. I hit the bishop. This is a bad move because now I can trade a piece at ease. And he played this. And I mean, he's a kid, right? So he doesn't know any strategy or anything. So my eyes just bulge. I'm thinking, like, what the hell is this move? I just take it because, that's a piece. I threaten to trade this knight. And I completely take over and I just kill him. The game finished it was a rapid tournament. It finished in 10 minutes and it's over. So I think... For other lines, okay, you can choose main lines, but for Benoni, I think find a decent line that isn't a main line that's a bit simpler, and then you play a middle game and you win. Like, but avoid this stuff because there's too much to know for a sideline, I think. That's my opinion. Yeah. So bishop e2 is better, but okay, I mean, if you try and study this yourself, I mean, bishop c4 is engine preferred, but like, you see, like, one move to be plus 0.8, and it can very quickly switch to minus, like, if you really don't find all the moves. So, but one interesting line you can try, I was just thinking, if you want a middle game really, really fast. Wait, can you do this with c4? Let me think. This was also this 2600 showed this. How's it gonna work? I think. Wait, can you do it here? It's okay. You're gonna hate me for this because it's really goofy crap again. But I think I don't know if you can do it in this exact position. But the idea is to play a4 early. And the point is, when you get this, you want to play rook a3, and you want to give a little check, and just, like, disrupt the development, and then you just go back. And then you just develop your pieces, and then black's, like, messed up. But it's when... I think it's... Let me find it. I think maybe knight f3 here. Something like this. And then a4 here. Yeah, this is the one. And then this. And just a little check. And then this is just, like, it's equal. But, okay, it's a game. Like, better player will win.
Yeah, but see, that's exactly the stuff that I try not to do anymore.
I don't know. I
have this line that this one I actually still play.
Well, there we go.
You probably already know this one.
I do know it. I remember. I think Martin showed me.
Yeah, I've played this one. I've played this one classical.
Amazing.
Hey, you have a game, right? You're just gonna run this up. You have like two rooks, but that's an exception. Like, I try to try not to do that anymore.
Right.
I'm playing Catalan, and I'm just trying to learn multiple things so that I can change according to my opponent. And against a lower rated opponent, I might play e4. Against a higher rated opponent, I might try d4. I play d4 and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I guess it's working. I mean, you got those 2 wins against the IMs. I mean, yeah, that counts for something.
Yeah, I just think that the weakness in my game is that I play dubious openings. So yeah, I'm trying to fix that and just try to make it a little bit more boring.
Right.
Maybe.
I mean, actually, I've done the same in a way, but in a slightly different way. Like, I've realized as well, actually, maybe I've got more of a problem than you, but um, my tactical ability is just really subpar. And unless I'm really doing a lot of work on it, like, it's always a bit lacking. So I've also kind of taken a foot off from all the kind of dubious, messy, fun chess. But I mean, you saw, right? Like, I made this repertoire of C3. And
Yeah.
actually, even though it sounds like a bit silly, I mean, the positions you're getting are very, very standard. So, for instance, against c5, we are getting exchange Slav. I mean, this is as like, you know, as serious of an opening as you can get. And against e5, we're getting Carlsbad, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, like I like to play with bishop f4. It's like something I've worked on. And again, this is a very like standard type of position where you grind out a weaker player and you try and win. So like, yeah, even though it comes from a bit of a sketchier move order, like I'm getting like positions where what you're actually aspiring for, like these kind of. I'm not saying you should buy the course or something. I'm just saying that like I also kind of came to a similar feeling about my chess, but I want to just play games where I understand the positions well and yeah, I'm not getting some dodgy position, and I'm just outplaying the guy and winning. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What are you playing against D5?
London, predominantly.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. But, okay, one little... Okay, I haven't done it in classical or anything yet, but one little trick is to play knight f3. And when the ambitious black player plays either like knight f6 or c5, like the most natural moves, we can go for another Benoni.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, and I did play it in like an online tournament in like the final round where I needed. I actually only needed a draw, but by going all in with like some crazy Benoni, I actually got the draw, and yeah, and won the tournament. So that was nice. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's like
Nice.
I you know what? Actually, I feel like both of us are quite reactive players. Like I know, like you played like Alakine and stuff, and you at least back in the day, like you like I felt like your strong suit was reacting, and I think that's why like C3 works well because it's like strong in terms of like it's like got this Caro-Kann backbone, right? So it's like got a very strong structure to rely on, but it also encourages the opponent just to go crazy and push. And I mean, like when the black side is like pushing a tempo down, it's really risky. It's like the like to me when I see like this London position, it's not really a London. It's a Slav an exchange down. Not exchange down. Tempo down for the d4 player.
Yeah.
Like this is like d4, d5, and yeah, we just got this extra tempo and I like it when the opponent is like super ambitious, pushing all their pieces and weakening all their squares, and gives me something to bite on.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the game.
Sure. Yeah.
But
yeah. So bishop f6 is just theory here.
Yeah, I was just didn't realize that when we trade the bishops that this square is just too weak.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't really matter that these are weak.
Yeah, I was always looking for that.
Completely missed bishop f6, and then I played this. Yeah, and I missed knight e5. You missed it as well. Yeah, we can already play
just with the same idea. I see.
Yeah, played this, and I was like, okay, I'm fine, just play this, and I'll some stuff will get traded, the knight will leave, and I will push, and I'm better because Michael has done some weird stuff, and it shouldn't be good. And then I was looking at it, and I was like, wait, 95 just wins.
Still works. Oh man. So
and I was looking, and it was the first move that you actually started thinking, because here you have like an hour 31, and here you have like an hour 24. So after 2 minutes, I was like, yeah, okay, 95. Oh yeah, that just wins.
Right. Yeah, shit. Yeah, I mean, the reason why I actually played rook e8 very fast was because I know my lines after bishop e3. So if you transpose back into the main move, because on bishop e3 here, rook e8, queen d2 is the main move. So yeah, then I was feeling like feeling fine, but yeah, no, when you played queen d2 in the game, I actually did stop to think. I mean, I stopped for 2 minutes, right? And I was trying to think like, is there a reason why this is bad? But as I said, my tactics suck. I'm pretty sure I commented on this, and I just didn't see that I can take this. I just thought, yeah, like, what am I doing? I'm gonna lose the queen or something. Like, yeah, just didn't see it one move ago. So yeah,
actually played between two guys, 2200 and 2300, and yeah,
they're English players
easily. I think.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, probably they just got mixed up with the theory, because it's bishop e3 first, then queen d2, and that's why I thought you got mixed up, and then I thought, maybe it makes no difference, and then but let me show you this line, because it's actually really, really interesting. Like, this bishop e3, so rook e8, queen d2 is the main move, and the reason why you want the rook on e8 is because you need pressure on e4. Because have a look at this insanity, right? You go knight e5, they take on e5, we take back with the bishop, and it looks like white is just like steamrolling it. It looks like black's gonna suffer this whole game. And the point is, in this exact position, with the knight on h5 and the rook on e8, you have this. And this motif is like saving you in like all of the lines. And whichever way you take, queen or pawn, you get knight g3. Okay, looks like modern engines are suggesting f5. I'll need to look into this. I mean, back in the day, they just moved the rook somewhere. And yeah, wherever you move the rook, you win the e pawn because of your rook. Yeah. And then you just play f5, and it's nice, I think.
Yeah, you're up a pawn, yeah.
Oh yeah, even that. So yeah. Yeah, so this is why, like, yeah, this knight h5 line is very tricky, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I played rook e8, and then then this is just horrible. Yeah, and I didn't think you had to allow me to take on f3 and take on h3. Was there not something else you could do?
I like, at this point, just to illustrate how difficult it was for me to focus, I didn't even see that you could take on h3.
Okay.
I figured I'll just play this. Yeah. And then here you took on h3, and I was like, I didn't even see this shit.
Yeah. Shit.
But yeah, the alternative is probably h4, yeah?
I didn't see h4 in the game, actually.
I was debating between h4 and bishop e3.
Uh-huh.
I don't think there's anything else. No, first I was gonna play this move. Just take.
Right.
I was like, okay. That's a piece.
Yeah. I actually don't remember what the main line was, but yeah. Yeah, and actually for the longest time around here, I was also actually at this moment I was tempted to even sacrifice and play a6. Because I thought if you take and you move back somewhere, I thought, I mean, I have the dark squared bishop, and I control all the dark squares, and I'm still going to win this exchange.
Yeah.
So...
completely winning still.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like I could have done that. But my thoughts were on bishop g7. I thought you had to play bishop g5. And I thought if you do this, then I will just repeat once and then play a6. And I thought if you don't play bishop g5, then I should be just winning. But I actually didn't calculate e5 here. Like, I calculated e5 in a different line, and I just forgot to look at it here, but...
I just thought I should make it messy.
Yeah, right. And after this, I wanted to take on e5, and I thought that you'd sack the exchange here, and I still thought I was good, but then I thought, actually, why is queen h4 not even stronger?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think bishop g5 is needed. Yeah, and then I was
looking at this.
Yeah, but it's not working, right? And knight g3.
And then
and it's still play here. I looked at takes and I thought there's nothing here, but I didn't look at this. I don't know. I thought I'd block it.
Yeah, I was looking at this.
Yeah.
It's the.
Yeah.
Well, it should.
Worth checking anyway. Yeah. So, and then I thought, yeah, king g1 is needed, otherwise then you can't even sack the exchange. But yeah, then you didn't sack the exchange.
Yeah, but even here.
Yeah.
Even here, I didn't see this move. I was only looking at this.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll play. I don't even know what I thought. I'll play takes, or I'll play this move. And it's a little bit messy.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, just have no fucking chance.
Yeah. And did you miss queen g4,
it's really,
actually?
Yeah, I missed that as well.
Damn. Okay, well, at least you know, like obviously it'll be different in London, but I mean, like, at least you know to look out for every check before every single move. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. Man, I missed everything.
But I mean, maybe one other factor is it is a new opening, because I mean, like, you know, if you're playing a setup and structure that you've played like for years, then you know where all the pieces are and you can kind of do it half asleep. But like, if you're playing a new opening, then I think this stuff can happen a lot more. So maybe, like, let's say you're in London and you have a good night out, and the next day you're having to play some chess, then just stick to the old lines, because yeah, there's too much.
Yeah, but that's the point. Yeah, I don't want to stick to the old lines. I need to.
Yeah, but then you miss 5 checks in a game, and
I need to burn myself a couple of times in order to. See, hopefully I now look at this line and I study it, and by the time I'm in London, I
okay.
I actually know what to do.
Right. You know what? Okay, let me give you one final line then to look at, because I really don't think this is the way. Like, this will require like months of studying, and it's just torture anyway. Like, yeah. And what's your chess plans except for this London tournament? Like, and okay, fixing your opening mindset, I guess.
I'm playing London and I'm playing Copenhagen in December. Yeah, end of December.
Ellen gonna be there?
Well, she's actually not. She's playing the World Championship Rapid and Blitz.
Oh, nice.
But Martin and I are going, and we're staying in Ellen's apartment.
Perfect.
Because we've been there. We've played it last year with Ellen, with the 3 of us, and then we played another tournament in Denmark where we stayed with Ellen. So we saw her quite a lot, actually. And then just this tournament, she wasn't gonna be there, but she was like, yeah, you can stay at my place. So that's really nice for her.
Maybe I should think about this as well. Like, get some free accommodation from my chess friends. It's a good idea.
Yeah. London actually has some free accommodation as well, so that's nice.
Amazing.
My plan is just to become FM. Yeah, hopefully sooner rather than later. I'm at 2240 now.
Okay,
so
nice.
60 more points should be doable if I don't play like today.
Yeah. Nah, you can do it. You can do it for sure.
Yeah, I'll get there eventually. Question is just why, when.
Why is a good question as well. But yeah.
Why? Yeah. Why is it?
Yeah, to be honest though, I mean, I've got some psychological problems with FIDE rating. Like, I crossed 2000 again, and a part
Oh,
of me,
nice.
like, it just feels like the grind to get to like a FIDE title that I feel is significant. So I guess FM is like the lowest for me. Like,
Yeah.
it's a long grind. 300 points is crazy. Whereas National Master like is 2200 in the UK, and I feel like National Master still has like some weight, and it's nicer in the sense that okay, if I play FIDE, I actually have a chance that I can lose my 2000. Whereas in national rating, I don't give a shit. Like I can drop down to like 1200 and I don't care. So it means I can play more freely and just
Yeah, but
focus on the
you
chess.
shouldn't.
Yeah.
I think you shouldn't give a fuck about your rating. That's the wrong. I think that's the wrong mindset.
I agree, but
Like
how?
I'm
How
not
do you not think about it? I don't know.
like when you're good, it'll come, and when you're not good, it'll go. So when I haven't looked at chess in a couple of months and I play a tournament, then I go -30,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
like that's fine, because that's logical. I
Right,
haven't
right.
been busy with chess, and then if I read a book and I'm looking at chess again for a couple of months, and then I play a tournament, then I'll go +30 again, and
Right.
that's also logical. It comes and goes, and it doesn't really matter. Like it doesn't really. I see no point in worrying about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe if my rating was higher, then I'd feel like I've got more like kind of room to like plus minus. But I think like because like I guess when I was like a junior, I'd already reached like 1950. It feels like 2000 is really the bare minimum given how much like time I've spent on chess. So
Mm.
it makes me feel like yeah, I just don't want to dip back below. But yeah, you're right. Like it's really something that I shouldn't worry about, and if I just work on my chess and play well, then the rating will come, right? So yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah,
The
something to
only
think
thing is
about.
that when
Yeah.
I play for FIDE, then like it's an incentive for me to focus.
Mm.
Like it's a switch in my mind that says like, oh, it's for real, and I have to
Right.
like really do my best here and
Mm.
not be lazy. And as soon as a game is like not for FIDE, even if it's like in a club tournament or something, like I play lazy. So my brain is wired a little bit to like, it doesn't matter if I drop or win rating, but if I play for rating, I'm gonna really try.
Right.
I play like this club tournament every Thursday, and it's against 1900s and stuff. And I play so bad. Like it's insane. And then I think, oh, my form is bad. But then I go play a tournament, or I play like interclub, which is for FIDE rating.
Right.
And then I play good.
Right.
So
right.
it's just a matter of discipline, I guess. That I only have it when I play rated games.
Yeah, I've actually had it once where like I played a tournament where I was completely relaxed and I was done with like caring about rating, but yeah, too much, and then I just wasn't focused and I dropped 70 points that month. 70 is the highest I've ever dropped, and it was all because I wanted to have this mindset where I just want to play and I want to learn, but yeah, then that also comes with the lack of focus. So yeah, I think you've got a good balance right now. I need to think about how I can channel that, but yeah, easier said than done, of course.
Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, no, it's not easy.
Yeah, but okay, I don't have to worry about it for a while because yeah, I don't have any plans to play tournaments at least until the summer. I think so. Plenty of time to relax and then try and get serious again. So
yeah,
yeah,
fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for the game.
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks for giving me the business.
No problem. Anytime. Okay, well.
I know what to look at now.
Yeah, exactly. If you find anything interesting as well, like, do please send it over, because I can always learn more in this Benoni as well. Like, I mean, I'm set on it for life now. I also had a phase where I tried playing some like correct D4, D5 like type stuff, and nah, fuck that shit. Like, now back to this Benoni. So yeah, I'll be here a while. Yep. But yeah, basically, yeah, one thing that was just really eye-opening to me was that I'm not the only player that can like have really bad off days. Like if I'm not able to focus, I just play like absolute trash. I mean, like I really thought I was like in this boat alone. Not alone, obviously, but I didn't know there were other people that I know that experience it so badly. Like, for instance, I played yesterday at the Red Knight Cafe, and I really couldn't think. I just really couldn't think at all, and I was just playing horribly. I mean, I got 4.5 out of 7 in the end, but it felt like an underperformance to me, and yeah, it means that like I don't think, let's say, Ezra is not a 2200 player just because he has these off days. No, when he plays these tournaments, he can really bring his A game, and I mean that's what FIDE is as well. It's like it's a reflection of your A game, and I mean in the past, I guess for me, like I've wondered whether like I prefer being a 2000 player as opposed to like anything higher, because there's a part of me that fears like having disappointing games, right? Like just playing like someone way below that level. And I feel like at 2000, it's almost acceptable to have these like worse games. But like as anything above 2200, I feel like, I don't know, at least for myself, I would feel like I'd want to be able to show that everywhere I play, whether it's casual or serious. But okay, I mean, maybe like, okay, experiencing stuff like this, like I have full respect for Ezra, and despite this game, I mean, I still fully respect him, and nothing changes there. So maybe it means that I can also strive to be a 2200 that also has terrible off days, and it'd be okay. So yeah, okay, that's I guess like my feeling from it. Yeah, we had some interesting analysis and discussion. And yeah, on that note, guys, I'm gonna call it a day there. So I hope you enjoyed the game. And yeah, see you guys around in another video. And thank you to all the YouTube and Patreon members down below who are supporting the channel. Really appreciate your support. And okay, see you guys in the next video.